One of the reasons we survive hurricane force winds and a seismic event, earthquakes, is we have very rigid connections. So we make actually welded steel roof brackets. This is a centerpiece here that is in the peak of the roof. And then the all thread that I mentioned earlier that ties everything through connects to these. So now we're pulling the house, the roof, into the ground very, very strong. In fact, you can actually put a hook on top of the house, release it from the ground, and actually pick the house up with it. No one does this in the industry. We're the only ones that we're aware of. If you think of a wood house right now, things are nailed together, and the thing that blows me away as an architect is the metal plates with the spikes on them, and they just bang the spikes in, and they expect that to still be there 50 years from now. Next slide, please. One of the, we're going to talk about fire. It was on the list, the earlier list. One of the biggest issues we have right now, especially on the West Coast here in California, are brush fires. They hit about 1,400 plus degrees Fahrenheit. They typically, as they blow across the countryside and through your housing estate, they're on your house usually for 10 to 15 minutes, and then they've gone past, unless there's something to combust. So if the fuel is there, they will stay there until it's destroyed the house. So this was one of the very first and most critical experiments. Next slide, please. There's an organization called NFPA, National Fire Protection Agency, and there's stricter and stricter tests. In 2008, we did an interior test here. This is it's called a corner room burn test. And it starts out with, first few minutes, there's a gas burner and there's hardwood on top of it. And the flames hit the roof, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do fantastic on this. I knew nothing was going to happen. And then on the 6th or 7th minute, they turn it up until it looks like backdraft, and the flames are licking across the roof and coming out the door. And I went, oh, no, I'm not so sure I'm going to survive this one. Anyway, we not only survived it, it's a 15-minute test. Let me explain what that means. The 15 minutes is based on drywall fails in 16 minutes. So they took 1 hour fire rate to drywall, put it in the test, and it failed in 16 minutes. So they made the test 15 minutes to make sure drywall was allowed. So I said, okay, and to keep the fire going, at 22 minutes, they said, look, you're paying by the minute, that's fine. But at 7 minutes, you capped and you stayed at 700 F. Nothing's changing. We could still be running it probably. So we turned the fire test off. So we were the first to do this. This became the first plaster that could pass a fire test. It was 1/8 of an inch thick. We don't even do that anymore. We made it 3/16 thick, 50% more.